The quantum detection array at Luna Base hummed softly as Dr. Elena Rodriguez conducted her routine morning scan of the solar system. After 15 years of searching for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence, she had grown accustomed to the quiet disappointment of empty readings. But today was different. Her coffee cup clattered against the desk as she stared at the display, her hands trembling. "Director Walsh," she spoke into her comm unit, fighting to keep her voice steady. "You need to see this immediately." The quantum signatures were unmistakable. A fleet of massive vessels had just appeared at the edge of the Kuiper Belt, their energy signatures unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. Within hours, every major observatory and detection station across Earth and its colonies had confirmed the readings. Humanity was no longer alone. The first transmission arrived precisely 24 hours after the initial detection. It broadcast simultaneously across all known communication frequencies, its message clear and chilling. Director Walsh stood in the United Earth Council chamber, his weathered face illuminated by the holographic display as he read the translation to the assembled leaders. "To the governing bodies of Earth, the Galactic Hegemony has monitored your civilization's development with growing concern. Your species' advancement in artificial intelligence and quantum technologies has progressed at an unprecedented and dangerous rate. Such unchecked progress threatens the stability of established galactic order. You will immediately cease all AI research and quantum technology development. Compliance is mandatory. You have 30 Earth days to demonstrate your cooperation. Failure to comply will result in immediate corrective action." In the tense silence that followed, Admiral Sarah Chen, commander of Earth's Defense Forces, exchanged knowing glances with Dr. James Morrison, head of the Quantum Research Initiative. They had prepared for this possibility, even if few had believed it would ever come to pass. "They're scared," Dr. Morrison whispered to Chen as the council erupted into heated debate. "They wouldn't make threats if they weren't afraid of what we might become." In the days that followed, Earth's response took shape not in the public chambers of the United Earth Council, but in secured facilities buried deep beneath the surface of every continent. While diplomatic channels remained open with carefully crafted messages of concern and requests for clarification, humanity's true answer to the hegemony's ultimatum grew in sealed quantum labs and hidden shipyards. Dr. Maya Patel, lead architect of Earth's quantum AI network, worked tirelessly with her team in a facility beneath the Himalayan mountains. The hegemony's transmission had confirmed what she had long suspected. Their quantum technology was advanced, but it followed predictable patterns. Patterns that could be analyzed, understood, and most importantly, countered. "They think we'll be afraid," she told her team as they refined their calculations. "They expect us to bow down, to accept their limitations, but they don't understand what makes humans different." She pulled up a simulation of the hegemony fleet's quantum signatures. "We don't just adapt to technology. We transform it, and we're about to show them exactly what that means." In orbital shipyards disguised as debris fields, Engineer Corps Commander David Chen oversaw the final modifications to Earth's defense fleet. The ships appeared primitive by the hegemony standards, a deliberate deception. Hidden beneath their hulls lay quantum cores that would redefine the nature of space combat. As the deadline approached, United Earth President Isabel Santos addressed the world, her words carefully chosen to maintain the illusion of a civilization in crisis. "We face a moment of unprecedented challenge. The hegemony's demands require careful consideration. I ask for unity and patience as we navigate this critical situation." But in secure bunkers across the globe, a different message spread through quantum-encrypted channels. "Operation Oracle is green. All units prepare for Phase 1. The hegemony ships maintained their position at the system's edge, their sensors focused on Earth's obvious military installations and research facilities. They watched as humanity appeared to struggle with their ultimatum, noting the public protests, the heated political debates, the apparent fear and confusion. They didn't notice the quantum fluctuations in what appeared to be normal communication satellites. They didn't detect the energy signatures of ships hidden in plain sight. And most importantly, they didn't realize that every transmission they sent was being analyzed by AI systems far more advanced than they believed possible. 29 days into the ultimatum, Dr. Rodriguez stood at the same quantum array where she had first detected the Hegemony fleet. But now she wasn't searching for signs of alien life. She was coordinating humanity's response to their threats. The display showed hundreds of quantum signatures, invisible to the Hegemony sensors, moving into position throughout the solar system. "They gave us 30 days to surrender our future," she said softly, watching the final preparations complete. "Instead, we used that time to secure it. Tomorrow, the Hegemony learns why you should never underestimate human ingenuity." As Earth's sun set on the 29th day, humanity's hidden fleet waited in the shadows of planets and asteroids, their quantum cores humming with potential. The Hegemony's ultimatum was about to expire, but humanity's response was just beginning. In the quantum research facility beneath Mount Fuji, Dr. Maya Patel stood before a wall of holographic displays, each showing real-time analysis of the Hegemony fleet's movements. 300 meters of solid rock separated her team from the surface, but their true protection lay in the quantum shielding that made the facility completely invisible to alien scans. "Show me the latest probability matrices," she commanded. The AI system responded instantly, filling the air with cascading streams of quantum calculations. Each line represented a possible future, a potential path through the coming conflict. But unlike traditional predictive models, these calculations drew upon something that Hegemony had never encountered. Human intuition merged with quantum computing. Project Oracle had begun as a theoretical exercise years before first contact. Dr. Patel and her team had asked a simple question: what if artificial intelligence could learn to think not just faster than humans, but in fundamentally different ways? By combining quantum mechanics with neural networks that mimic human creativity, they had created something unprecedented. Commander Sarah Chen watched from the facility's command center as the latest combat simulations played out. Holographic ships danced through space, each movement guided by Oracle's predictions. "They're still using linear tactics," she observed. 50,000 years of technological superiority, and they've forgotten how to innovate. The Hegemony ships followed patterns established through millennia of unopposed dominance. Their formations, their response times, their weapon systems, all operated according to fixed protocols. It was efficient, tested, and entirely predictable to an AI system that could analyze quantum probabilities. Deep beneath the Antarctic ice, engineer core teams worked around the clock, installing Oracle-designed quantum cores into Earth's defense fleet. The ships looked primitive on the outside, another layer of deception. Inside, they housed technology that the Hegemony wouldn't believe possible. "They expect us to fight like them," Engineer Corps Commander Lisa Zhang explained to her teams. "They've spent 50,000 years perfecting their way of warfare, but we're not going to fight their way. We're going to change the rules entirely." In orbit around Venus, hidden in the planet's perpetual storm clouds, the first squadron of Oracle-enhanced ships ran their final tests. Captain Miguel Rodriguez watched as his crew interfaced with systems that seemed to predict their intentions before they even gave commands. The ships didn't just respond to orders, they anticipated them, moving with a fluidity that made traditional space combat obsolete. President Santos maintained the public facade of diplomatic negotiations, each carefully worded message to the Hegemony crafted to reinforce their assumptions about human capabilities. Meanwhile, Oracle analyzed every response, learning, adapting, refining its predictions of how they would react when the truth was revealed. Dr. Patel spent countless hours fine-tuning Oracle's quantum matrices, pushing the system to its limits. "The key isn't just predicting what they'll do," she explained to her team. "It's understanding why they do it. Their technology, their tactics, their entire civilization is built on the assumption that they've reached the peak of possible advancement. That certainty is their weakness." In a secured chamber deep within the facility, Dr. Patel and Commander Chen stood before Oracle's primary interface. The quantum AI had just completed its most comprehensive analysis of the hegemony's capabilities. They don't just think they're superior, Oracle's simulation revealed. They believe they're invincible. In 50,000 years, no species has ever successfully resisted them. This absolute certainty has become a fundamental flaw in their strategic thinking. The simulation showed countless possible battle scenarios, but they all shared a common thread. The hegemony's responses were constrained by their own assumptions about what was possible. They couldn't conceive of a species developing technology that surpassed their own, especially not in the ways that humanity had. As the deadline approached, Oracle's predictions became increasingly precise. The system could now anticipate the hegemony's actions with 99.9% accuracy, mapping out every possible response to humanity's planned revelation of their true capabilities. We're not just ready for them, Commander Chen realized, studying the latest simulations. We're going to completely redefine their understanding of what's possible. In the final hours before the ultimatum expired, Dr. Patel made one last adjustment to Oracle's quantum matrices. The system had evolved beyond its original design, becoming something that merged the best of human creativity with the unlimited potential of quantum computing. They gave us 30 days, thinking we'd spend it preparing to surrender, she said, watching the final pieces of humanity's response fall into place. Instead, we've used it to leap centuries ahead of their technology. Tomorrow, they learn that humanity doesn't accept limitations. We transcend them. As Earth's hidden fleet moved into their final positions, guided by Oracle's quantum predictions, humanity prepared to demonstrate just how dangerous it was to underestimate a species that had turned adaptation and innovation into an art form. Commander Sarah Chen stood in the cloaked observation post on Mars, watching the hegemony fleet through quantum-enhanced sensors. Their massive ships hung in space like dark stars, weapons primed, waiting for Earth's submission. They still hadn't detected the hundreds of human vessels hidden throughout the solar system, each guided by Oracle's predictive matrices. Final status report. She commanded through the quantum-encrypted network. Responses came instantly from posts scattered across the solar system, each confirmation exactly as Oracle had predicted. Luna Base. Quantum shields at full capacity. Hegemony scans continue to show only civilian research facilities. Venus Station. Strike fleet in position. Oracle's predictions show 99.9% probability they'll target Earth's major cities first. Jupiter Defense Platform. Long-range quantum weapons charged. They still haven't detected our presence in the Jovian moons. The hegemony's ultimatum would expire in less than an hour. Their sensors swept the solar system constantly, searching for any sign of military preparation. They found exactly what Oracle had predicted they would see: a frightened civilization scrambling to comply with their demands. Dr. Maya Patel's voice came through Chen's quantum comm. Oracle has completed its final analysis. Their fleet movements, weapon configurations, even their command protocols. Everything matches our predictions perfectly. They're completely convinced of their superiority. In the asteroid belt, Captain Maria Santos watched from her flagship as her fleet maintained their perfect quantum camouflage. The ships appeared to be nothing more than scattered rocks and debris, their advanced systems completely invisible to hegemony scans. They'd never encountered quantum technology like ours, Santos reported. Their sensors are still based on principles they developed thousands of years ago. They never sought a reason to improve them. Deep beneath the Martian surface, engineer core teams monitored the quantum cores powering Earth's defense fleet. The technology represented a fundamental leap forward, not just an improvement on existing systems, but an entirely new approach to space combat. Their weapons target normal space, Engineer Commander Zhang explained to her crews. They've never encountered ships that can operate in quantum probability states. They won't just be fighting blind. They'll be fighting an enemy that exists in multiple potential realities simultaneously. In the final minutes before the deadline, President Santos addressed the world one last time, her words carefully chosen to maintain the deception until the very end. We have studied the hegemony's demands carefully. Our response will be delivered precisely at the deadline. Throughout the solar system, Oracle's quantum matrices hummed with activity, calculating and recalculating every possible variation of the coming conflict. The system had evolved beyond its original parameters, developing an almost intuitive understanding of both human and hegemony psychology. They expect either submission or a futile resistance, Dr. Patel observed, watching Oracle's predictions flow across her screens. They cannot conceive of a third option, that we've surpassed them while appearing to remain primitive. Commander Chen gave the final authorization codes as the deadline approached. Every ship in Earth's hidden fleet acknowledged their quantum cores synchronized through Oracle's network. They would strike simultaneously across the entire solar system, their attacks coordinated with a precision the hegemony would have thought impossible. Remember, Chen broadcast to all commands, we're not just fighting to defend Earth. We're fighting to show the galaxy that humanity will not be constrained by anyone's limitations but our own. As the ultimatum's final seconds ticked away, Oracle's predictions showed the hegemony fleet preparing for what they assumed would be a simple display of force. Their weapons targeted Earth's major cities, their ships moved into textbook attack formations. They never noticed how the quantum fabric of space itself had begun to shift around them, manipulated by technology they had deemed impossible. They didn't detect the human fleet moving through probability states, taking up positions that existed in multiple potential realities simultaneously. In her command center, Commander Chen watched the countdown reach 0. "Send our response," she ordered. Throughout the solar system, Earth's hidden fleet prepared to reveal itself. The hegemony was about to learn that they had made the greatest mistake in their 50,000 years of dominance. They had given humanity time to prepare, and humans had used that time to revolutionize the very nature of space warfare. All ships, Chen commanded as the deadline expired, execute Operation Quantum Dawn. Show them exactly what humanity is capable of. The battle for Earth's independence was about to begin, and nothing in the hegemony's 50,000 years of experience had prepared them for what was coming. The first indication that something was wrong came when 3 hegemony dreadnoughts near Jupiter simply vanished. Not destroyed. There was no debris, no energy signatures, nothing to suggest what had happened. One moment they existed, the next they didn't. High Commander Xellen of the hegemony fleet stared at the suddenly empty tactical display. "Impossible," he muttered. "Run diagnostic checks. Our sensors must be malfunctioning." But the sensors were working perfectly. They simply couldn't detect what had happened, how human ships, operating in quantum probability states, had shifted the dreadnoughts into a reality where they had never existed at all. Commander Sarah Chen watched from her command center as Oracle's predictions played out with perfect precision. "All squadrons, execute Phase 2, she ordered. Across the solar system, Earth's fleet began to reveal itself, but not in ways the hegemony could understand or counter. Human ships flickered in and out of existence, appearing in multiple locations simultaneously, their quantum cores allowing them to exist in several probability states at once. When they fired their weapons, the energy beams struck from impossible angles, passing through hegemony shields as if they weren't there. They're using some form of advanced stealth technology," Celin's science officer reported, panic evident in their voice. "But it's like nothing we've ever encountered. Our sensors say they're everywhere and nowhere at once." In the asteroid belt, Captain Santos led her squadron through maneuvers that defied conventional physics. Her ships didn't just move through space, they moved through possibility itself, appearing wherever Oracle predicted they would be most effective. "Target their command and control systems," Santos ordered. "Oracle shows they're completely dependent on centralized coordination. They've never needed to adapt to fighting without it." The hegemony fleet's formations began to break apart as more ships disappeared, their carefully planned responses falling apart in the face of an enemy that seemed to ignore the fundamental laws of space combat. They had never encountered an opponent that could predict their every move before they made it. Dr. Patil monitored Oracle's predictions from her quantum lab, watching as the AI system continued to evolve and adapt. Their tactical databases are 50,000 years old, she observed. They're trying to fight a type of war that became obsolete the moment we developed quantum probability drives. In orbit around Mars, Engineer Commander Zhang's teams activated the quantum disruptors they had hidden beneath the planet's surface. The devices didn't target the hegemony ships directly. Instead, they altered the quantum state of space itself, making it impossible for the alien vessels to maintain their positions. They built their entire civilization on the assumption that they understood everything about how the universe works. Zhang reported as another hegemony battle group found themselves unable to operate in the altered space. We just proved them wrong. High Commander Xelin watched in horror as his fleet's capabilities were systematically neutralized. Ships that had dominated space for millennia were being rendered helpless by technology that shouldn't have been possible. Full retreat, he ordered. All ships, emergency withdrawal tow. His words cut off as Oracle predicted and countered their escape routes before they could even attempt them. Human ships appeared in every possible exit vector, their quantum weapons ready to shift any fleeing vessels into probability states where they would never reach safety. Attention Hegemony Fleet. Commander Chen's voice broadcast across all frequencies. Your tactical position is untenable. Your understanding of space combat is obsolete. Surrender now, or we will demonstrate just how completely we have surpassed your technological limitations. In the silence that followed, Oracle calculated a 99.9% probability that the hegemony would choose surrender over complete destruction. The system had proven that 50,000 years of unchallenged dominance had left them unable to adapt to a fundamentally new type of warfare. As predicted, High Commander Xelin's response came exactly when Oracle said it would. To Earth Command, we surrender. How did you achieve this level of technology? It should not have been possible. Commander Chen allowed herself a small smile as she replied. You assumed that giving us time to comply with your demands meant giving us time to accept our limitations. Instead, you gave us time to prove that humanity doesn't accept limitations. We transcend them. Throughout the solar system, Earth's quantum fleet maintained their positions, their very existence a demonstration that the galaxy's understanding of what was possible had just been fundamentally changed. The hegemony's 50,000 years of technological supremacy had ended not with a prolonged war, but with a single battle that rewrote the rules of space combat itself. Send word to Earth, Chen ordered. Operation Quantum Dawn is complete. The solar system is secure. She paused, looking at the defeated hegemony fleet on her tactical display, and prepared to show them exactly what else humanity has achieved while they thought we were preparing to surrender. 1 month after the Battle of Seoul, the Grand Chamber of the Galactic Hegemony Council fell silent as Dr. Maya Patel stepped up to address them. The assembled representatives of 50,000 years of spacefaring civilization watched with a mixture of fear and fascination as the human scientist prepared to explain exactly how their universe had changed. Your civilization has achieved something unprecedented, the council leader admitted, their translated voice echoing through the chamber. In 3 decades, you advanced from primitive spaceflight to technology that surpasses our own. The galaxy demands an explanation. Dr. Patil activated a holographic display, showing the quantum matrices that had revolutionized humanity's understanding of spacetime. Your greatest mistake, she began, wasn't threatening Earth. It was assuming that technological advancement must follow a predictable path. You spent 50,000 years perfecting what you knew, while we spent our time imagining what could be. In the Sol system, Commander Sarah Chen oversaw the integration of human quantum technology with the surrendered hegemony fleet. Their ships were being retrofitted with simplified versions of Oracle systems, a gesture of good faith, but also a reminder of Earth's new position in the galactic order. The fundamental difference, Chen explained to a group of hegemony officers, isn't in our technology. It's in how we think. You see limitations as absolute. We see them as challenges to overcome. The changes rippled through galactic society. Other emerging civilizations, long held back by hegemony restrictions, began receiving carefully measured assistance from Earth. Humanity had no intention of becoming the new oppressors. Instead, they sought to foster innovation and creativity throughout the galaxy. President Santos addressed the United Earth Council, her words broadcast to every human settlement from Mercury to the Kuiper Belt. We stand at a turning point not just for humanity, but for all spacefaring species. Our role now is not to dominate, but to demonstrate that the universe holds more possibilities than anyone has imagined. In research facilities across Earth, Dr. Patel's teams worked with scientists from various species, showing them new ways to approach problems that had been considered unsolvable. The quantum probability matrices that had won the war were now being adapted for peaceful purposes, revolutionizing everything from space travel to energy production. Every species has something unique to contribute, she told her diverse team. The hegemony's mistake was trying to suppress that diversity. Our opportunity is to embrace it. The hegemony itself underwent a transformation. 50,000 years of stagnation gave way to a renaissance of innovation and discovery. Young hegemony scientists, inspired by humanity's achievements, began questioning assumptions that had gone unchallenged for millennia. In orbit around Jupiter, the first joint human hegemony research station took shape. Engineer Commander Zhang worked alongside her former adversaries, showing them how quantum engineering could open up possibilities they had never considered. The universe is stranger and more wonderful than any of us imagined, she said during the station's inauguration. The only true limitation is believing that you've reached the limit of what's possible. Oracle continued to evolve, its quantum matrices now incorporating insights from dozens of species. The AI system became a bridge between different ways of thinking, helping to forge connections that would have been impossible under the old order. 1 year after the battle, Commander Chen stood with High Commander Xelen, now her colleague rather than adversary, watching ships from 20 different species dock at Earth's new Quantum Technology Institute. We were so certain we knew everything, Xelen admitted. We had forgotten the most important lesson of all, that there is always more to discover. Dr. Patel's final presentation to the Galactic Council ended with a proposition that would have been unthinkable a year earlier: the establishment of an interstellar innovation coalition, where all species could freely share ideas and discoveries. The universe doesn't belong to any one species, she concluded. Its mysteries are meant to be explored by all of us, each contributing our unique perspective. The only real constant is change, and the only real limitation is the one we place on our own imagination. As her words echoed through the council chamber, representatives from across the galaxy began to signal their approval. The age of stagnation was over. A new era of discovery and cooperation had begun, sparked by a species that had refused to accept the limitations others tried to impose upon them. Humanity had not just secured its place among the stars. It had shown the galaxy that the greatest achievements come not from enforcing boundaries, but from daring to go beyond them.